Welcome to my interview today with Dr. Tina Schermer Sellers, a friend, and let me make sure I read her credentials to you so you know why we've invited her to enjoy an interview about sex. Tina is a certified sex therapist, a licensed family therapist, and in her work she combines the two to create some amazing retreats, workshops, classes. She's a professor, and she combines love and sex in a way that allows people to flourish. Tina, welcome to this interview.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
We have a whole bundle of questions to go through, and before we dive into questions this community has, I was wondering if we could just do some preliminary talking about sex and shame and why these two always seem to be unhappy bedfellows in the Christian community. Would you mind just talking about what is shame, what makes it different from guilt, and why does it always seem to be attached to sex?
Yeah. Shame and guilt are different, and it's really important to understand the difference because sometimes people will put them in the same sentence as if they are the same. And I think it's important to understand them as different because emotionally in our body, we feel them as different. So shame is the sense that we are unworthy or unvaluable, bad in some way. And it invites us then to build a mask and hide behind it in some way. So it usually comes when we've gotten in trouble at a very young age from something we've done that actually came out of an innocent, natural, something that we did, but we touched somebody else's shame in what we were doing, and they reacted to us, and that reaction scared us in some way or made us feel badly about ourselves, but we couldn't figure out what we did, so we assumed it must mean that we were bad.
Got it.
And we internalize it as I'm bad. So it comes out from outside of us, somebody that we usually love and care about, and it happens when we're little, and it can happen many times. It can also happen from our culture, that our culture has an opinion about something that is bad, but it actually stands in opposition to something that's natural within us. And again, we have to start hiding ourselves and pretending we're not who we are. Mm-hmm. So we build this false mask. Guilt, on the other hand, is when I violate my own ethic code. So I have an ethic code of what I believe is right, and I choose to violate it, and I feel badly about it. So guilt motivates me to do it different next time. I'm not afraid of rejection in guilt. I feel like I let myself down. With shame, I'm usually afraid that if I show you my whole self as opposed to just my masked self, that you're going to reject me because you're going to see that I really am bad.
Got it.
So I have this core fear of rejection. But with guilt, I don't fear you're going to reject me. I'm not rejecting me. I'm just feeling like I let myself down. I don't want to do that next time. It's motivating of change. Shame is not motivating of change. It's motivating of hiding and secrecy.
Okay, those are really helpful distinctions. I would imagine shame is very prevalent then among any man or woman's experience who feels like their norms or their desires don't fit in what their subculture, whether Christian or not, tells them is normal for a man or a woman to want. And since all of us have unique, different sexual desires, we all are experiencing some measure of shame in our sex lives.
Yeah, exactly.